It's exciting. It's extraordinarily exciting. You know, I had I forget if it was the last day or the second to last day there at the AAIC. There was a gentleman. I wish I wish I could remember his name, but it was a small molecule discussion. It was a small molecule discussion that was focusing on the synaptic story. And it was the thing that made me very impressed by this talk was that this is a gentleman from Stanford that essentially founded and did the work from the basic science bench work all the way to drug discovery and all the way to the point where it's actually getting to the clinical trials. And the whole narrative, the whole throughout the entire time was that it's synaptic recovery and synaptic function. So the point here is that this is not an isolated idea. This is not an isolated idea. This is something that other people recognize, that the synapse is sort of one of, if not the functional unit of the nervous system as far as cognition is concerned, right? There's several studies, sort of preclinical that recognize, engrammatic components of memory, sort of the idea that memory engrams exist and the role of the synapse, the role of individual neurons there, and dendritic spines in general. Dendritic spines, the concept that you have these buds coming off of, if you ever actually look at the pictures of, you get the cell bodies and you get these axons, and then you wonder where the actual synapses exist. There's these budding points that we call spines, and then that's where the actual synapses occur. Those structures, these micro anatomical structures, are highly relevant, and they're dynamic structures, and they're getting a lot more study. And here's the other exciting part: it's not just in the context of Alzheimer's disease, and that's the part that really ties it into this research. There's work. I know University of Florida. There's a gentleman, Adam Woods, there that's doing a lot of research there in the context of cognitive aging. In addition to, like I was saying, at the Alzheimer's Association, there was a lot of talk about it in the context of therapeutics for Alzheimer's disease. But there's also work going into studying it in the context of just age-related cognitive decline independent of pathology. So I think there's a very interesting and exciting story there where it's implicated in both cognitive aging as well as pathological cognitive decline. And what makes it very exciting in terms of the nutrient intervention that I'm interested in here is that this intervention is agnostic to the pathology. Here, you're just, in theory, introducing the ingredients that are necessary for the synaptic recovery in a nutritional manner that doesn't really care whether it's normal aging, doesn't really care whether it's a pathology. You're literally just giving the brain sort of the ingredients it needs to sort of repair itself, if you want to think of it that way.